XRP has been on an absolute tear over the last 3 weeks, and it's outperforming some of the top narratives in the space such as memes, AI, real-world assets, and many people are wondering if this crypto dinosaur is coming back in full force, or if this is simply another rally that is going to be faded in the long run. What's up guys, it's CryptoDave here at Top Tier Signals, and in this video I want to discuss XRP's latest breakout to the upside and whether or not we should expect this to continue through the rest of this bull market. Is this in fact the start of a major expansive move for XRP, or are we in fact going to see a local top here sometime soon and another move to the downside like we've seen for the past several years? So why is XRP doing so well over the last 3 weeks? Well, a big part of it has to do with the election results. Obviously, we know that the Donald Trump victory is a bit more crypto-friendly with respect to other issues. And of course, Donald Trump has spoken very openly about his disdain for Gary Gensler and his plans to replace them. And we have since gotten the news, of course, that Gary Gensler plans to resign. This was probably the most scrutinized cryptocurrency on an individual basis by the United States government. And so to usher in a new regime that is far more supportive of the crypto framework, I think is just a very positive thing overall. So I think that optimism has definitely played a big part here. But the big question, of course, is this going to continue? Well, there is a bull case and a bear case. I'd like to break down very quickly both of those for you guys and offer my perspective here at the end of the video. And guys, if you like these sort of deep dives and analyses of the market, of course, subscribe to the channel, tick the little bell, you'll get notified every single time we post and you won't miss an update. Without any further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump into the discussion. So there's a couple of main things when it comes to the bullish case for XRP. Just as we mentioned, of course, there is a new regime in the United States that plans to be far more crypto friendly than we've ever seen before. And of course, removing Gary Gensler as chair of the SEC is a big step. So if you're not familiar with XRP, it aims to become the payment settlement processing king of the entire world. This is a big reason that people call it the banker's coin or an institution coin, because the basic concept is that institutions can leverage the XRP ledger and use this to settle their transactions in real time by simply buying and selling in and out of XRP. So for example, if you have a company in Japan that's trying to process a major payment to a company over in the United States, then the Japanese yen will be used to buy and then sell XRP into US dollar, and that is how that payment would then be settled. This is of course a huge step up from the major traditional payment processors that can be pretty expensive and take quite a long time to process these payments. So the ability to make these payments cheaper and faster is a huge plus. And those who have used the XRP ledger before have noted that they have saved plenty of time and plenty of money by simply implementing the XRP ledger as opposed to a more traditional system such as Swift or MoneyGram. Now, despite the XRP ledger's success in processing payments, there really hasn't been too much development out of the Ripple camp in quite some time. However, we did just get the news in August of 2024 that JP Morgan will be accepting XRP for credit card payments and for mortgage payments. They've also hinted at using blockchain and cryptocurrency further in the future, so this is their way of sort of dipping their toes in the water, so to speak. And this is all very great to see. You have a product that works very well, and you do have some pretty major names that are partnered with the company. So you have a product that works very well, you have a regulatory framework that supports it. Pair this with a really interesting technical setup here on the weekly time frame. You had this continuation pattern that played out all through 2014 through to 2017 before a massive, expansive break to the upside. You now have something very similar, dating all the way back to January of 2018 through to these past couple of weeks. We've been setting in major macro lower highs as well as higher lows. We have formed out another continuation triangle here, and we have since broken to the upside here in the past couple weeks. So just based on technical analysis alone, this is a very interesting setup. But then you couple that with the positive regulatory framework. It's a recipe for success for a coin that has not done well for a long time. So XRP looks good, but I do need to talk about the bearish case for the coin and why we might need to be careful despite all the positivity that has surrounded the coin for the past few weeks. For starters here, we just look at the weekly time frame for XRP. We can see that these moves are not out of the ordinary, whether they're expansive like we see during a bull market, whether they're simply relief rallies during a bear market. XRP tends to move in very quick gaps, and these tend to get faded more often than not. And we can see this especially back in history. We had this 440% move over 28 days. You have a 6,500% move over 56 days, a 1,300% move over 21 days, so on and so forth. So it's not out of the ordinary for XRP to do extremely well in a very short period of time before eventually setting in a local top and selling off further. And you can see a lot of the same thing with the Bitcoin pairing as well. You have these very quick, expansive gap-like moves to the upside that ultimately get faded. And what you'll notice over time, and especially over the last 2 cycles, it has done very poorly against Bitcoin. We have seen significant bleed out for years, and each rally against its Bitcoin pairing has simply been faded when it's come in line with some of these longer term moving averages. So I'm not trying to be exact here. I truthfully don't really have a trade around the way XRP is performing right now, but I would say that it's not a bad idea to be looking for some of those same signs that XRP would be setting in a local top, because you can make a ton of money shorting to the downside when XRP finally falls from the sky, as we've seen time and time again. Something that should definitely be considered as XRP trades high into the sky is Ripple unlocking its tokens. Now, this is not out of the ordinary for Ripple to unlock XRP tokens, but they made their largest unlock in about 7 years with a net 470 million XRP set to hit the market. This is a very important thing to see, that Ripple executives and other whales in this space are starting to offload their XRP. We can see here, thanks to this little chart here, we have a visualization of the 3 billion XRP that has been dumped year to date. But you will, of course, notice that the tokens that were unlocked this time around are significantly higher than they were last time. And this is not old news to see Ripple conveniently unlocking their tokens when the price is performing very well. And on a similar note, we can see that whales are beginning to sell at the highs, where whale addresses holding at least 100,000 XRP have decreased their balances as the prices continue to go up over the last couple of weeks. So we see a major breakout in price. We see Ripple unlocking more XRP than they have been over the last 7 years. We see whale wallets decreasing very rapidly. This is not the sign of strength for a coin that historically has pumped very hard and dumped even harder. And guys, I'm not trying to strike any fear into you. Maybe you've aped into XRP here in the past couple of days or past week or so. There's certainly some profit still on the table if you ask me, but I would be very careful getting yourself exposed to a coin that has already pumped very significantly in a short period of time, and a coin that has a history of harsh distributions at these premiums that can round trip very quickly. One final thing that I think is very important to consider for XRP here goes back to the use case. We noted earlier in the video that the XRP ledger does a very good job of settling transactions cheaply and in a short period of time. But what happens when the traditional payment processors like Swift or MoneyGram don't need to use XRP to be competitive, whereas they can leverage a different blockchain network known as Chainlink to offer that same sort of on and off-chain compatibility that XRP aims to provide for banks and institutions? Well, it's important to understand that Chainlink already enables $17 trillion worth of financial transactions and activity on its blockchain network. It already serves as that staple Oracle data provider for on and off-chain data sources. Then you take a company such as Swift, which is already the payment processing giant here in the world, that can leverage Chainlink to service those on and off-chain needs. This is a huge hit to the use case of XRP, where there is another project, there's another protocol that these traditional companies can make use of to stay relevant and to remain competitive. So these things really hurt XRP's thesis. I think that Chainlink, if anything, is more poised to be that institutional banking coin. It's already doing significantly well. Now, beyond this, Chainlink has what's known as a depository, trust, and clearing corporation. This is a post-market trade infrastructure that allows for asset settlement, and we have a ton of massive companies participating in this, far beyond that of the partnerships of Ripple with XRP. So I really think that if you're looking at XRP from an objective standpoint, you consider its historical trading performance, you consider its fundamental strength compared to some of the alternatives, there are some rooms for growth. It's certainly promising to have a pro-crypto administration and a regulatory framework that's going to support it, but I just think that there are better alternatives, and the performance of XRP historically does not make me inclined to want to chase this rally. Now, if we do get a significant pullback, build a nice little base for price, it could make for a good leverage trade, sure, but I would say the objective and more rational trader is not looking to trade XRP right now while whales are distributing, while Ripple is making bigger and bigger unlocks, and while their fundamental edge is starting to fade despite the regulatory clearance. Guys, let me know what you think down in the comments about XRP's performance. Are you trading this coin? Did you make a bunch of money? Are you buying in now? What is your opinion on XRP? That's going to do it for this video today. Guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Tick the little bell. You won't miss a single post. And until the next video, guys, I will catch you all in the Discord. Peace.